What's up, Lakers fans? This is Nic Rohloff here at the Lakers Report by Chat Sports, and the Lakers are off to a hot start this year, and could they really improve on how the season could unfold by trading for Walker Kessler, the Utah Jazz center? We'll talk about that possibility, but also a Laker is set to return after a scary injury. We'll break it down here on the channel, but help us out. Share the video, and if you want more Lakers videos on the channel, make sure to spread the word. The goal is to beat last video's, I should say, number of shares, which was 5. Help us out, spread the word here of the Lakers Report. Let's talk about Walker Kessler because the Lakers are rumored to be interested in the former first-round pick and the Jazz starting center, someone who as a rookie dominated, blocking more than 2 shots per game and was on the Team USA squad after being a rookie. Now, a little bit of a down second year, but in year 3 has been subject of trade rumors. Well, Jovan Buha of The Athletic linked the Lakers to Kessler, saying that I think we need more time to see which guys become available. I think Walker Kessler is a name that the Lakers have been interested in that would make a lot of sense and would allow you to either start a 2-big look or probably more realistically bring him off the bench and then play 2 big shifts. And then in certain matchups, close with 2 bigs. Jeremy Grant, Bruce Brown, Dorian Finney-Smith, Cam Johnson, the guys they've gone after or been interested in the past. So when you think about potentially trading for Walker Kessler, I think it's a fascinating one. We know that Anthony Davis in the past has voiced his opinion on how he wants to play. He doesn't want to be the center. He wants to be the 4. That's where he fits best. But you also have to wonder if he's able to do that with not having as consistent of a 3-point jump shot that he had earlier in his career with the Pelicans and in his first couple seasons with the Lakers. Now, we saw over the summer in the Olympic squad, him and Bam Adebayo share a front court, and it was very productive. Could they try to do that with Walker Kessler here? I will say this. I kind of agree with Buha that if you traded for Kessler, that it would be probably smarter to bring him off of the bench and have Anthony Davis continue to start at the 5, because I like the way Rui Hachimura and Anthony Davis have worked in this Lakers front court with LeBron James so far this season. But you saw at the bottom of your screen, when talking about a Walker Kessler trade, it's going to unfortunately cost you more than it probably should, because Danny Ainge is an absolute, I was going to say a word that I probably can't say, and does not give up assets easily whatsoever. He makes you overpay more than you should for a good young player. Let me know. It's today's pinned comment. Should the Lakers make a move early in the season, or should they wait for the trade deadline? Type Y if you ask, or type N for no. Like I said, it's today's pinned comment, so if you hit with a YouTube ad break, let it play, scroll down, and answer today's question. Let's dive more in on Walker Kessler, the former North Carolina and Auburn Tiger. I said he was the first round pick, 22nd overall, and he was extremely good as a rookie in his first season. He was on the first team. He was 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting. He's an All-NBA caliber rim protector, and you see it right there on the bottom of your screen as well. The blocks he averages per 36 minutes is absolutely elite. He is one of the best rim protectors in the NBA. Now, there's questions about his ability to guard on the perimeter. He actually reminds me a lot of a young Rudy Gobert, probably not as good, but those same questions where he's going to protect the rim and block shots and deter shots at the rim at a high level. But if you switch him in the postseason and you bring him out to the perimeter, it might be barbecue chicken, as are for most rim protecting centers, with a little bit of a smaller I should say slower feet is the way I want to say about this. And if you're talking about the Lakers making a move to this roster, they're always going to be linked to the top tier stars. When you have a LeBron James, Anthony Davis led team, and obviously the name brand of the Lakers, are always going to be in the running for the top tier trade targets. And if you made a move for Walker Kessler, I like the move, but it is on the smaller scale. But I also don't think you need to swing big if you are Los Angeles. I think this roster is actually looking pretty good early on with some nice added pieces in the offseason that if you just tinker and move some people around, maybe getting rid of D'Lo, adding a Walker Kessler, it can really take this team to the next level. And Kessler working in with an Austin Reeves, working in with a LeBron James, and the way they can facilitate and play make would just take his game to another level. We don't need to talk about his defense anymore, but we'll talk about how his offense could be unlocked. And he's never really averaged double-digit points per game. He's doing it through the first 3 games of the season for Utah right now. now, but he's someone who doesn't do much outside of just finishing at the rim on putback attempts, on lob attempts, on rim running attempts, and he doesn't get enough of that in Utah due to the lack of true ball handler, playmaker, and downhill driver in Utah. But guess who has quite a few of those guys? The Los Angeles Lakers, which would just free up Kessler for a lot more offensive rebounds and putbacks, and also lob opportunities that we've seen Anthony Davis capitalize on in a Anthony Davis and LeBron James duo. And coming up in just a second, we'll talk about who the current backup center is in Jaxson Hayes and how Walker Kessler could be a major upgrade over Hayes. But first, we are sponsored by Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports platform out there. I play Prize Picks on a daily basis, and I implore you guys to do the same. You can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, so your lineups stay in play. Even if one of your players gets injured, if a player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks keeps your lineups alive. They also weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, that's today by the way, Prize Picks discounts select player projections up to 25% to show you even more value for your lineups. Think Justin Jefferson will get more than 83.5 yards. Think LeBron will have more than 20 points. Well, you and your friends can cook up and win real money with your takes when you run your game on Prize Picks with your crew. And I do have an entry for tonight's game. I'm taking a look at the Warriors game as well as the Timberwolves game. I mentioned Taco Tuesday, 25% discounts. Well, there's Anthony Edwards getting discounted down to 22.5 points. I'll take them more there. I'll take the Demon on Jonathan Kuminga, 1.5 3-pointers. And I'll take less than on Draymond Green, 14 points plus assists, 3-player entry there. Join me and join millions of others playing Prize Picks on a daily basis, and they have a great deal for you Laker fans at home. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. One more time, download the app, use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win. Once you play the $5, the $50 is guaranteed. Prize Picks, run your game. And when you take a look at this Lakers current roster, the starting lineup has been pretty solid early on here outside of D'Angelo Russell. I like what I've seen from your front court, man. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, Anthony Davis has looked like a dominant force early on in the season. Rui Hachimura has been solid, complementing Reeves and LeBron James as well. And when you really think about what this roster might need, you're looking at guard depth alongside Reeves, because Russell's been a little bit lackluster, and so is Gabe Vincent off the bench. And you're looking at front court depth, because Jaxson Hayes has not given you as what you could think he could give you or what you would want outside of your backup big. And Anthony Davis is playing so well, but we know that he does have his history with injuries, so getting insurance at that center spot could provide some depth and insurance for the Los Angeles Lakers. Hayes has been okay, but he hasn't been that good. And the part that is a little bit frustrating to me is the fact that he plays 16 minutes per game and only averages 4 rebounds. That isn't going to get it done. Now, I know if he plays a full 32 minutes like Anthony Davis does, he's averaging 8 rebounds, but you're still hoping that you would get a double-double from your center. And when you compare him to Walker Kessler, and this is last season, we're not looking at this year so far, it's obvious who the better center is. And Kessler even had a down year last year in year 2 compared to his rookie season, a little bit of a sophomore slump, if you will, but it's still very, very clear who's better. Kessler's the better rebounder. He's the better finisher around the rim, and he's a 10 times better rim protector. I mean, Kessler's top 5 in the NBA in terms of protecting the rim and blocking. He's right up there with a Rudy Gobert, a Victor Wembanyama, in terms of deterring shots at the rim. It's very clear to me that if you're just talking about backup center, Walker Kessler is a clear upgrade. The only question that I have when it comes to trading for Walker Kessler with the Lakers is he worth the price tag that it would cost you? It could be a deal breaker, specifically if you don't plan on starting him. If you envision him as a front court partner, him at the 5, AD at the 4, and that's what you want to do for the next 5-6 seasons, with Anthony Davis coming down from his prime, okay, then I could understand the price tag, because it's going to be quite high. But if he's just going to be a backup center for you, no, I would save those assets. And what the price tag may be is very well 2 first-round picks. Well, Jacob Root of SB Nation had the note of the value, said over the offseason, the price was high for teams inquiring about Kessler. According to longtime NBA reporter Marc Stein, the asking price for Kessler was 2 first-round picks. And that's not first-round pick and Jalen Hood-Schifino, who was the first-round pick in 2023 from Los Angeles, who many are down on. That's 2 real first-round picks. And we know that is a legit report, by the way, because the Knicks had interest in Walker Kessler and wanted to trade for him, and they would not pay up on that 2 first-round pick price tag. So it's a little bit aggressive if you're asking me. But let me know, would you trade 2 first-round picks for Walker Kessler? Type T for trade, type P for pass. Make the call down in the comments section. I'm a fan of Walker Kessler. I like his game. 2 first-round picks, not in on. If you told me Jalen Hood-Schifino and 1 first-round pick, I could get convinced. But straight up 2, not going to happen. And even though I like Kessler, I really do, and we've kind of gushed on about him and talked him up all video long, it just doesn't make sense for the Lakers to spend that draft capital and those assets to get a backup center. And even if they do plan on him starting alongside Anthony Davis, is that the move you want to cash in on some of your first-round picks for? No, I'd rather use D'Angelo Russell and some picks to upgrade that guard spot alongside Reeves. That's kind of how I see it. Or use those picks to fortify your bench. I like what Dalton Knecht has shown early on. We know what Vanderbilt can bring to the table, but that bench is still a little bit lackluster if you envision winning a title with this team. They need to add more to that group. All right, and we'll transition now from trade rumors to some news here. Christian Koloko has been medically cleared to play, according to Shams Charania. Now, this is intriguing because this is a 7-footer with a lot of talent, former 33rd overall pick in the 2022 NBA draft. He was originally drafted by the Toronto Raptors out of Arizona. Very lengthy, athletic center. And here is what Shams had to say, that he will begin practicing this week with the Lakers and ramp up to play for the first time since April 2023. Due to a blood clot issue that threatened his career. And we know that blood clots are nothing to play with. One of the legends in the NBA, Chris Bosh, had to retire about 2 to 4 seasons earlier than he wanted to because of blood clots. So this is something that isn't something to mess around with. And it's promising news, too, as well, because they're likely going to add Koloko into their little developmental program. And you've seen successes with Austin Reeves developing. I wouldn't put Dalton Knecht in that category like Shams did here, considering he is still a rookie. But either way, he has a lot of talent. You saw it when he played college ball at Arizona. There's a reason why he was drafted in the top 35 picks of the 22 NBA draft. And I'll be intrigued to see if he can develop in the G League, potentially with the Lakers, South Bay Lakers it is, and maybe make the roster at one point. And what this injury does for Koloko, by the way, it allows the Lakers to take their time with them. They don't have to rush him back. They do have Jaxson Hayes, as we talked about him today. It's not like they need Koloko to be their backup center right now. And as long as Anthony Davis stays healthy, they don't need to add another center to this roster. So Koloko will be able to return, ease his way back into NBA activities, and hopefully develop very nicely inside this organization that Los Angeles has. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Like we said off the top, make sure you help us out by sharing today's video. Spread the word. We'd like to get our content out there to more people. And if we get more eyeballs on the channel, that only means more videos coming here from us at Chat Sports. So make sure you help us out, subscribe, but also share today's video.